Well, the Dodgers are back, folks. They're at full strength. They're rolling right now. Monse and I are going to talk about it today. We're very excited for this team right now and where they're headed. And we're going to quote a lot of movies today, so it's going to be fun. She is Monse Bolaños. I don't know if you can see her. There she is, guys. She's on the show with me.
Yeah.
I am Beau Benson. This is the Sick Podcast of the Dodger Zone. Let's go ahead and get into it, should we?
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. The Dodger Zone.
At strike three, Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter at 10:17 in the evening of June the 29th, 1990. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
The sickest LA Dodgers podcast. It's gonna be sick.
That's right. I woke up in cold sweats all week being like, I didn't introduce Monse. I didn't do it. So
I thought we were going to be friends forever. Now I'm not
sure. No, look, I may have gotten it tattooed like Memento. So it's on my, it's not, I should. Man, rare good week for the Los Angeles Dodgers, it feels like, which is funny. The thing one of the things I put in the notes here is the doomsayers that were cursing this team. It kind of felt like they were leaving out key information when they would be like, oh yeah, I don't think this team's going to win anything. They suck right now. The Padres, the Diamondbacks are on their heels. I don't think anybody else is adding players like Mookie Betts back into their lineup after an extended period of time. And obviously he made his return against Milwaukee. He had a home run as soon as he came back, but they're rolling right now. And it's actually for the first time in a while, it's been fun to watch.
You're not wrong. I mean, the thing that comes with playing for the Dodgers, being a fan, obviously the minute that you can shit on them, you're going to shit on them when you're not a fan. And so the opportunity did come because the Dodgers were not playing well. They looked out of whack, but people forgot to mention, oh yes, their star Mookie is not playing. Max Muncy, one of their offensive weapons, is not playing and is out way longer than expected. Now, the pitching situation, obviously, that super sucks. But I agree, like, there were things that were being left out. And it was just kind of like, I think most of us were waiting for them to start returning before really, like, saying anything. But I'm not surprised that everyone tried to jump on that the minute they could.
Yeah.
I agree. Really, really nice week. Not a lot of nervous sweats, let's say, right? Watching the games, you were just like a little bit more comfortable. I mean, last night's win, pretty complete win from beginning to end without a single home run hit. And we usually don't get that. It's usually like a home run, a big hit from one player drove in 3 runs. And, that's how we get our cushion. This time they all hit. They all played well. And it was really nice to see.
Yeah, it's just more fun. I think Max Muncy had that bases clearing double last night. And we've long said here too, like, Max is kind of the key to this lineup. When you get to slot Max Muncy back into the middle of the order, it's another headache for pitchers to have to deal with, because you always know he's going to take 7, 8, 9 pitches in every at bat. He's always a home run threat. So I personally love having Max back, but as I was watching these last few games when they've mixed Mookie back in, now he's fully back in the lineup. They've integrated Max Muncy and Tommy Edman is fitting in, and even Kevin Kiermaier, who we'll get to. Like, it reminds me of Happy Gilmore when Happy, like, he hits a putt and he just looks at Shooter McGavin. He's like, oh, Happy learned how to putt. Like, they finally are starting to put it all together. Yes, that is the exact thing. Like, like, we only got, I think, 4 months of what this is, if that, 3 months before Mookie broke his hand. So it's a different team. It's an entirely different team. It's no longer just the Angels too, when it was just Ohtani and like Kike in the lineup. Like, they have everybody back, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, heading down the stretch. The only thing is going to be the pitching, but I have no concerns about this lineup, and I think putting Tommy Edman at 9, like they must be listening to all the podcasts out there because that's what everybody was begging them to do. So yeah, I officially have no more questions about this lineup. They're free of my questioning for the rest of the year, and unless they do something stupid, but I don't think they will. So congratulations, guys.
Seriously, congratulations. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little bit nervous of Max Muncy's return. I didn't think he was gonna get right back into it the way he got right back into it. Mookie too, but really, I thought Max Muncy was just gonna need a couple of games to like fill out his swing again because he was out for what, 3 months?
Forever, yeah.
It felt like a long time. So I was surprised that Max really just slipped right on in there offensively. Like he has not missed a game. Same thing with Mookie. So it is like very like a nice breath of fresh air, a relaxing release. I agree with you with the whole like, you have to learn how to putt because it's like, all of a sudden we have a great lineup across the board.
Yeah.
That, you know, I don't want to move too far away from the lineup here, but like, let's get into Jason Heyward being DFA today. I don't know if you went on and like looked at fan comments because I love reading comments. It's my favorite pastime.
Oh, for sure.
It's a really split feeling about Heyward being DFA'd by the fan.
I mean, but we also knew these were coming too. Like they have a ton of tough decisions that they were going to have to make.
Tough decisions.
And generally like they get made for them. Like, you know, anytime they can put someone on the IL to activate somebody, they'll do it. But yeah, it's tough, but that's just kind of the thing. I'm surprised they did it, to be honest with you.
But what were the other options? Like if you think about it, CT3 is your utility player. Heyward is only right field. Like I get that. Mm-hmm. But Heyward, like I would take his at bat over CT3's and over Kike's.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah. Heyward, outside of that home run he hit the other night, he hasn't been great for a while, while Chris Taylor had been hitting really well up until when he got hurt. And the thing is that Chris Taylor, as we saw early in the season, he's kind of earned the management's trust to work through any issues he has. Whereas I don't think Heyward really gets that benefit. And as you mentioned, Chris Taylor can play multiple positions. Heyward's really just locked into right field, which now that Mookie's back, it makes it a much easier decision. But
100%.
I am curious to see how not only Freddie Freeman handles this, but also like the locker room, because he was a very respected voice, which is why I'm surprised ultimately that they did do the right thing here, which is DFA Jason Heyward.
So why not just prolong bringing Chris Taylor back?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You could have waited a week or two, right? And I think the rosters expand in September, so it's a little curious, but maybe they just wanted some flexibility because I know Miguel Rojas is probably going to go on the IL again. Anytime a guy is like, oh yeah, he's got something going on, but we don't think he's going to go on the IL. That with the Dodgers, that usually means he's dead.
He's going on the IL.
They're working out burial plans. So it is kind of curious, but it kind of goes back. I'm going to use this line so many times, but it also feels like the front office has kind of learned how to putt again because they're doing the correct stuff here. They've basically silently made Michael Kopech the closer, like without saying it. That's pretty much what it is, which is again the correct thing to do. I don't think there's any egos being hurt in that process. The guy throws 104 and has been unhittable since he joined the team, so that's fine. And yeah, like it sucks, but Heyward on the list of guys that they had to make a move for, Heyward was unfortunately at the bottom of that list. Yeah, I would hope that they can find a way to bring him back in some capacity. But I also wouldn't be shocked to see a team that needs a little bit of veteran. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yes, he becomes a pinch hitter. That's what he becomes on the roster.
That's the thing. Like everybody else, like Kevin Kiermaier, I think he earned any roster spot throughout the rest of the year into the postseason in that Mariners series. He showed you everything that he can do. And And I think it just makes it easier if you have Kiermaier, because I think Tommy Edman should be playing shortstop as often as he can.
Yes.
I love Miguel Rojas, but he cannot stay healthy. He's old.
Like, as much and nicely as it is to have versatility, I do want players where it's like, this is what you're doing and only this, so that you don't have to constantly figure out. Like, versatility is great, but too much of it is not. So I was all about Kiermaier staying the whole time. His defense to me is way better than others that we have on the roster. Obviously, it was the offense that was like hit or miss, but he hustled for that triple. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, that was the last game he was ever going to play. And I appreciate that.
Given what this Dodgers lineup can be, right, with Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Monse, Will Smith in the top 5 spots, Teo, I mean, you're getting basically, if you just slot Edman and Kiermaier at 8 and 9, I don't care. That's fine. It's found money at that point, right? Like, if they get on base, that's awesome. But if the first 7 guys in the Dodgers lineup aren't getting hits, doesn't matter anyway. They're going to lose games. Like, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I have no issue with that. And I do the kind of versatility that I enjoy from baseball players is from a guy like Tommy Edman, who can play shortstop and center field, the 2 hardest defensive positions to play at a Gold Glove level. So that's totally fine. I don't mind keeping him. And yeah, Kiermaier, like, just knowing that Kiermaier's in center field, like, I'm totally fine with that. It makes it so much easier. You're not holding your breath every time you see a ball hit into center with Pages out there anymore. So it's totally, I have no complaints about the lineup. There's nothing we can complain about anymore. It's up, really at this point, it's up to them to go perform.
I have a complaint about the lineup.
Oh, there we go. That's right. You do.
One. Okay. We're really not going to put Mookie back in the leadoff spot. Now, hear me out. Okay, so let me just ask you. Mookie goes up to bat. Are you expecting him to get on base? Just.
Yes.
You're expecting him to get on base,
yes.
Right? Okay. All right. Are you expecting him to hit a home run?
At leadoff? I mean, that's kind of his thing.
Just Mookie,
but I don't. Yeah. No.
Just
no.
right now.
Yeah.
You're expecting him to get on base. Let's go to Shohei Ohtani. He goes up to the plate. You expect him to get on base? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You expect him to hit a home run? Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So why would you not have him follow Mookie? And I know it's just one of those rare situations where, Ohtani should be maybe leadoff 99.9% of the time. That 0.1% is because you're on a team with Mookie Betts. When both of you are constantly getting on base, I don't see how you don't put Mookie first over Ohtani. And Ohtani likes to swing at that first pitch a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And so I don't see how we don't go back. I really think it benefits the team so much in the sense that Mookie will probably get on base and Ohtani will probably hit a home run right after. Instead, we've seen him hit a home run, and then Mookie gets on base after him, and then maybe nothing happens. I just can't. I can't get past this idea. Their numbers are so similar, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Ohtani is better, but he's not like home runs. He is. So again, why is he not going after Mookie?
It's such a first world problem to have.
It really
and
is.
Any other fan base would not want to hear this from anybody, but it is. I think you give Ohtani like another 2 weeks or so, and if he has a slump like he was having, then maybe you think about it. But it's also like it's working right now, right? So you don't want to break it if it doesn't need to. And I think again, like having Tommy Edman hit 9th, you're generally gonna have somebody on for Ohtani anyway.
Right, so put 2 in front. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
But it's that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I completely agree with you too. I think if Ohtani does struggle and there's a chance for them to make a swap, they might do it just because of comfort. Because Ohtani will hit wherever you tell him to hit. He's not going to care. Yeah. But it's also just, again, you're batting Ohtani leadoff because you want him to get the most at bats in the game. Like, that is the bottom line. So, like, I get it, but they're interchangeable. And I think at the end of the day, if Mookie's like, hey, I'm just way more comfortable hitting leadoff, Ohtani would be fine hitting second. But you also do get to mix, left, right, rather than right, left, right. Like, so it's just one of those things where it's like, it can be a problem if you want it to be a problem, but like, it's tough. I think we're not going to get through any show without talking about Ohtani, but he's at 39-39 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank the Atlanta Braves and their fans for their MVP campaign for Ronald Acuna last year, because now we know that stolen bases are all that matter. Yes. So once Ohtani hits that 40th stolen base and he gets his 40th homer, you can just hand him the MVP at that point. Like there's no conversation past that. So thank you to Atlanta. We will happily accept that award. It'll be crazy. It's going to be pretty fun to have Ohtani win the National League MVP. I think last I saw his odds were he was minus 5,000 at this point. So I think that's a pretty firm chance that Shohei Ohtani is going to be the National League MVP this year.
Yeah.
But I am actually genuinely geeked to have a 40-40 player on the Dodgers. I don't know if they've had one before. I should, but I don't think they have.
I don't think so.
So it being Ohtani in his first year with the team will be pretty sick. And also, I hate to do it. I hate to Rob Parker it. I really do. If he joins the 40-40 club and wins the National League MVP purely hitting, I don't know if you bring him back to the mound.
I mean, listen, this is, again, we're getting
nobody wants to hear that talk, but
we're not talking about that yet. No.
I think I would be swayed. I think I would say that you might just kind of leave him off the mound. No, it does not look like they had any 40-40 because there's not been that many.
There's only been 5 players.
But, yeah, the list of guys that have done that, it's insane.
5 players. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It will be very funny, though. I think we mentioned this probably last year, at least me and Ryan did. The huge bases definitely have inflated steal numbers.
Obviously.
To where they probably shouldn't be taken that heavily into account when it comes to MVP voting, because you're about to have back-to-back 40-40 seasons, and I would imagine you'll probably have back-to-back-to-back 40-40 seasons, and then down the list until it doesn't mean anything anymore. So
just to add what you're saying, I'm double-checking this. Ellie De La Cruz of the Reds, he just stole his 60th base.
Yeah.
6-0.
Yeah. So
another monster. Like, this is not to take away.
Well, I will guarantee you that Ellie De La Cruz at some point will join the 40-40 club.
Oh,
if
yeah.
Not 50-50 club. Yeah. He's
he's explosive. Yeah.
Rob Manfred, just a great job all around. Thank you for everything you've done for the sport. It's great. You're killing it, brother. Don't ever retire.
Don't ever change.
Yeah, please. God, dude. Speaking of pitcher injuries, updates on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think he threw a sim game the other day, or at least a bullpen. 2 innings. I think he was sitting like 95, 96. I think I saw he hit 78 on the off speed. So mid-September, I believe Dave said, for his return.
Yeah, so he's supposed to have another sim game before he has an actual rehab assignment. So we'll see. I think it's a good sign, slowly, but not rushing him back. So I like that they are ramping him up and not feeling the need to desperately bring him back. Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing. Other pitchers that the future is unknown.
That's the thing. And I don't think that Walker Buehler should make another start for the Los Angeles Dodgers, at least this year. I don't think there's any reason to do so. He can't go longer than 5. He went 4 the other night, I think, and gave up 3 runs. And he just clearly labors through every single at bat. I know after the game he said that he feels closer than he ever has before, but athletes lie all the time about how they feel. Because Walker, we all have eyes, dude. We can all see the game. We all watch it. And it hurts me. It really does pain me. I needed Walker Buehler to be the next Kershaw, but I just don't think he is. But also, given everything that's happened this year, there's nothing behind him. So, like, yeah, I think you give his starts to Knack and Robleski, but like, if those guys go down, that's it. Like, there's nobody else.
Yeah.
The Dodgers could legitimately just run out of starting pitching. Like, it's possible, because I don't think you would bring up anybody from AA or something like that to make a spot start in the majors. I don't know what arms they have that they could even consider doing that with, and I wouldn't want to. But yeah, this whole thing with Walker, it's really sad. It's frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating for fans. I can't imagine how he feels.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about players like they're just kind of numbers on a spreadsheet, because they are human beings and they are people and all that stuff. But like, man, the Dodgers are trying to win a World Series. And I just don't think that's going to happen if Walker Buehler is taking the ball every 5 days.
Yeah, he does not look comfortable. And I keep thinking of like Kershaw, because Kershaw, his first outing, it wasn't great, right? And then his second one, Mookie. But you just saw glimpses like a little bit every time. And now look at him. He looks like he's actually able to get in some sort of groove. Yeah. And I feel like with Walker, I haven't seen that. And I feel for him. He knows he's not playing well. He was asked, because he's entering free agency. He fully is aware that like he is not having a good campaign. But I don't know what you do if you're the Dodgers, like, for the future. Because I do think people see he's only 30. Yeah. And I feel like 2 Tommy John surgeries, that's going to be the new norm, everybody. That everybody's going to have 2. Like, we just got to get used to that.
You're going to get one in high school, one in college.
Exactly. One maybe right when you get into the league, and then again later on. Like, it's going to happen. So I feel, I guess, like, I'm just like wondering if the Dodgers should somehow still keep him without letting him go, because I do think somebody would snatch him up.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. And I'm glad you brought up Kershaw, because I did want to shout him out, because I think I saw after his disaster start in San Diego, he's got like a 1 ERA.
Oh, totally.
All of it starts. Yeah.
100%.
So I think we've said, or at least I have, like, I'm pretty sure this is like silently his last season. So I do think people should appreciate every single Kershaw start that we get, especially when they're still good.
Yep.
And I think that the difference between Kershaw and Buehler in terms of handling the loss of stuff is becoming more apparent with each start that they make, because Kershaw, he can't just throw 95 miles an hour anymore. His body it just doesn't happen. So Kershaw has found other ways to get guys out. Like, he doesn't have K numbers anymore. Like, I think he struck out like 2 and he walked 4 or 5, but he still went through 6 innings with like giving up 1 run. So that's just like, I guess it's just me, like, slobbering on Kershaw a little bit, but like, that's just why he is who he is. And I feel like people are going to regret not giving him his flowers while he was playing. But it is so good to see him out there again and being effective. And that's what doubles the frustration with me for Walker. It's that, like you said, he's only 30. I know he's had 2 elbow surgeries and all that stuff, but like, find a way to get it done, man. And if you can't, then tell the team, like, I just cannot do it. He doesn't want to come out of the bullpen, which, like, that's another thing too, where it's like, if you can't find a way to be effective as a starter, like, if you really care about this team, find a way to be effective as coming out of the pen. Like, throw as hard as you can for 3 outs in the 7th, and you'll be much more valuable than trying to go long for 4 and not being effective. So that's the one thing we were talking about, the pitch, the lineup now kind of being the Death Star. The staff, the starting staff, and it's through really no fault of their own, but like, that is going to be the real stressful thing as we head into September and October here, because there's not really an update on Glass now. Yamamoto's still a couple weeks away. So it's you're just kind of holding on by the seat of your pants. Like, Flaherty's been great for what they got him for, but he's really like right now he's the staff ace, and that's
not
that's a lot.
That's not what
that's
you
a
want.
lot to put on his plate.
Yeah. I mean, he's 3-0 now with
but it hasn't been always the cleanest. But that is the nice thing about the lineup coming back is that if they go down 2 or 3 runs, you're not just like waving the white flag anymore.
Right.
Like when Walker gave up 3 runs in the first inning or the first 2 innings, and they won that game because like their lineup is just in a much better spot than it was 3 months ago, 2 months ago. So they're going to grind out some wins. Like it's going to have they're going to grind out some wins. I feel comfortable saying that they're going to win like 95 games. Like they might go on their ridiculous Dodgers stretch here at the end of the season, just because of this lineup. But I think we are going to kind of be back to where we were last year, where it's like holding on to your butt, like as Clayton Kershaw takes the mound in a do or die Game 5 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, something like that. Not looking forward to that too much.
I mean, I'm not either, but I hope somebody in the clubhouse, like knowing that this is happening with the pitching staff, that there's just like a lot of questions. I hope they're in there and they'll be like, all right, guys, if we score 7 runs or more, we're probably going to win.
Yeah.
And that lineup should be able to get 7 runs consistently. And so it's like, I hope they're in there thinking that, like, yes, you guys got to put pressure on yourselves because of the unfortunate situation we have with our pitching rotation. But that's just how it works right now. Right now, it's on you to get 7 runs at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which I genuinely agree with you. I don't think that's an insane ask for this lineup.
It's not.
I really don't. Across a 9-inning game, I really don't think that that's too much to ask.
No. And that would give you a very high chance of winning. You know? So it's just like, somebody better be saying that in the clubhouse. That's all I'm saying. Somebody better be saying that in the clubhouse.
Well, you know, a part of that lineup that I have not mentioned yet, which I feel sick to my stomach for not doing, is Gavin Lux.
Listen.
Because he has been, I think, a top 3 hitter in all of baseball since the All-Star break. Yeah, like whatever he did, it's working. And we know what he did is he started trusting his knee again, and he's actually just swinging with power, which, like, okay, yeah, the strikeouts go up, but so does everything else. So it has actually been, I was very down on Gavin Lux. I assumed they were going to trade him through the deadline, so I just wanted him to kind of pick it up so he would look more attractive for trade offers, but it didn't happen. And thank God that it didn't, because honestly, they need him. They need him in the lineup every day.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see.
So good to see. And that really is all that it was. It was him trusting his body. Like, he may have been paying less, but he was definitely worried as he played. And so it just, how long ago did he get hurt? Maybe a year and a half ish?
Yeah, it's been a while.
A while. So it took a minute, man. The All-Star break, I don't know what it was, but it took a minute, and he definitely looks comfortable out there, whether he's at second base or batting. He looks different. He just looks and I'm sorry, Gavin Lux. I also said some mean shit.
We are Gavin Lux truthers. We've always been fans of Gavin Lux. We've never said anything negative about Gavin Lux.
We knew he was struggling because of
it's been mentioned in multiple broadcasts ever since he started playing well again. But like, people forgot that he wasn't just like a top Dodgers prospect. He was like one of the top prospects in all of baseball, if not the top prospect. So like, this was always something that he could do. And I think the frustration with Lux is that it just didn't seem to get put together. But it finally has. And I hope it continues, because I would love nothing more than for Gavin Lux to be kind of a part of this team for its future. He's been, when he first came up, I remember against the Mariners, I think they were just struggling entirely. Like, they could not do anything all game at the plate. And then he came up and just hit a 3-run bomb and just let it all out. And I love that from these players, because we don't see that a lot. You saw it the other night when Jason Heyward hit that go-ahead home run where the entire dugout emptied for him. You don't see that a lot from the Dodgers, and I do think that is something that this team misses when it gets into October. It is not kind of rising to the moment. And again, we can talk about this now because Ryan's not here. He will not scold me for saying this. So, yeah, it'll if Gavin Lux wants to keep hitting like this into October and he wants to start throwing that bat around and firing the team up into October, awesome, great. I would love that. Please do it. But him doing it now is really good to see, and kind of I hope that it sticks. Because I legitimately think that part of the reason the trades have been harder to come by for the Dodgers is because everybody's kind of like, well, your system hasn't really produced a stud hitter for a while. So is there something going on there? What's the deal there? So hopefully if Lux continues to hit well, if Pages can come back up and play well, because he was also playing well before he got sent down, which goes back to those tough decisions that this team is going to have to make. So yeah, I would hope that Gavin Lux continues and is the next wave of big Dodgers bats.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Because, there's so much stoicness that surrounds the Dodgers. Like, Dave Roberts is very stoic in the games, and he's actually one of the nicest people that we encounter on tours. He always says hi. He is just a sweet man. You wouldn't think that he would be that type of stoicness or stoic guy during the game. And I feel like a lot of players are stoic, and like there's a few of them that show emotion and show, like excitement. And I like to see that mixed in with the others that are like, oh, I've done this before. Like, it's not my first time. But, Gavin Lux, I feel like he brings that. And Kevin Kiermaier, I feel like
yes, he does. He does. Yes.
Like, I don't know if it's because he's like, man, I can win. Like, there's a chance here. I'm excited. He is so excited to play, and I feel like you can see it. And I think that's one of the reasons fans are so sad about Heyward, is because he also brought that. He wasn't a stoic figure when it came to celebrations and the moment and all that. But I like, those are the Gavin Lux bringing it. I'm with you, and yeah, hopefully it leads into the postseason.
Yes,
and beyond.
Please, a couple things I want to get to before we get out of here. Welcome back, Justin Turner. That has been a lot of fun to see over those last 3 games. I'm long on the record as saying that I believe his number 10 should be retired by the Dodgers. He was the catalyst for this era of Dodgers baseball. And no, you cannot disagree with me on that one. I'm correct. And it is just nice to see him back. I hope that he can come back with the team after he retires. I believe he said that this is his last year. Yeah. So I would hope that the minute he retires, he needs to have a front office job with the Dodgers immediately. I believe his son is named Beau. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he did name his kid Beau.
I think you're right.
I know Evan Phillips did. So shout out to Justin.
Beau. Not spelled like Beau you though.
That's fine. It's a society.
Yeah.
I saw, I forget who posted it, but I do miss, it did make me wistful for those like 17, 18, 19, 20 teams when Turner FaceTimed different guys on the team and then acted like they had called him. It made me wistful for that era of Dodgers baseball.
Yeah.
It really did. I missed that so much. That was so much fun. If the Astros hadn't been such scumbags, that 17 Dodgers team, which I still put them there, that is like one of the greatest teams of all time.
Yeah.
Easily. It's like not even close. They're like regarded with like some of the best Yankees teams, some of the best Red Sox teams. Like they are absolutely up there with some of those teams. So it does pain me still. Like that's why that 17 shit is never going to like fade, because that team should be way more remembered than it is. And I hope at some point in the future, the Dodgers, like in college football,
rewrite history of it.
Teams just claim national titles that they didn't play for in college football. Just claim the fucking 2017 World Series. Just do it. Who's going to stop you? Who's going to stop you? Just do it. Big fucking deal. It's just, it's awesome to see Justin back. I love him. Okay, my last thing today, Dodgers-wise. I really do not like that Joe Kelly got another like meme moment with the Dodgers fan base when he did the review that thing as he walked off the mound. He just got like 3 more years of goodwill from this fan base. It's so frustrating. It sucks.
I mean, yeah, but that's what he brings.
I know.
That's what he brings.
It also brings fucking failure.
Yeah,
annoyance.
He has, but with Joe Kelly, he's like, you just don't know what you're gonna get.
No,
you have no idea what flavor of cupcake it is. I'm not sure. It looks like it's going to be chocolate from the outside. And then I take a bite into it and it's something else. No. And I feel like that's every time he goes out. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, I think you're going to do this. You did not do any of that. And then other times I'm like, I think you're going to do this. And then he does do that.
Yeah. So, and that's the worst thing is that every clean inning from Joe Kelly is like Dave Roberts mentally is like, all right, I can trust him next time. Okay. He got out of that, fresh inning. Like, we'll put him in with 2 outs, the bases loaded, and we're up by 1. And we'll put him in there against Aaron Judge. That'll work out. Like,
it's a toxic relationship. It
really is.
And then you go back and you're like, okay, you're going to be different this time. Yeah, that's what it is.
And fans are going to go crazy for him still because he did that. There's going to be a Breaking T-shirt in the next week of him doing that. I can't. I just, oh, God.
What?
No, and I was just going to say, too, one thing I noticed throughout this Mariner series, I will say we dodged the bullet because Randy Arozarena is still hitting like 150 with the Mariners. So, God, can you imagine if they had traded for him and he was doing that here?
It would not have gone well. He has to be frustrated. I mean, being a Mariner right now has to be very frustrating.
Dodgers just got their manager fired, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. They wouldn't win it. They were 1-8 in their road trip. Mm-hmm. Like, that is not good, especially when weren't they up by 10?
No,
games?
I saw, I think someone, maybe Rosenthal or somebody, they were up by 10 games on June 5th
at
or
one
something
point,
like that.
Yeah, no, like since their downfall started, they have basically the worst record along with the White Sox. Like it went down and it went down fast. So I don't blame them for
with that rotation too. Like that they're not even going to make the postseason. I don't blame them at all, but like, there's something up there with their hitting philosophy that's just not working out. So sorry, Randy. I hope it gets better for you, dude.
But perfect Randy transition to Jake Flaherty. I didn't know he had a little dog in him. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I was like, okay, look at him. Look at him talking.
Yeah, that little spat between Jack and Randy Arozarena was pretty interesting because I get it. Like Randy's probably frustrated because he's hitting 150, but like you're hitting 150, dude. They're not gonna intentionally put you on the base ever. Like there's no intent behind that whatsoever. So just take your base and get over it. But that whole. Right.
But I enjoyed it. I was like, okay.
No, that was it was fun. You know what else I enjoy? These comfortable shirts.
Oh, they're Homage. So comfortable.
I know. I'm wearing this one right now. Homage specializes in ultra comfy, high quality looks, repping sports, pop culture, and more legendary moments. Learn more about Homage with the link in the description that you'll find on the show, the podcast, all that good stuff. They're great. They really are. We're going to say this every single time, but I'm not even kidding. I'm constantly looking at their website to see what they've posted lately. And I will probably do that again once we're done here because football season's coming up, baseball season's ending. Yeah.
And I don't know about you,
but
I'm super inappropriate when I'm wearing one of their shirts because the minute I get a compliment on it, I'm like, touch it, feel it.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm so inappropriate and I can't help it. I'm like, you have to touch my shirt. Feel my shirt because it is the softest shirt that you're going to feel ever.
Unbridled comfort. I love you, Homage.
Yes, we do.
I will not object to any free stuff from you guys ever. I will pay money, but I am also easily purchased. I'm just saying.
Me too.
Is there anything else? Did we miss anything?
I don't think so. I think we hit everything.
No, Dodgers are off today. They're back. They're playing the Rays and the Orioles. Which the Orioles, that's gonna be a fun series.
It is.
I might have to go to one of those games. I think El Salvadoran Heritage Night is at some point next week. So
it is, but I don't know which one.
I'm half through marriage. So
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yes.
Marriage. Okay.
Yeah. It counts.
Sure.
So we will be back next week. Maybe Ryan will be back. I don't know if we're gonna let him back on here.
I don't know. This has been too fun.
Yeah, I don't think we need him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodgers Zone. She's Monse Bolaños. I am Beau Benson. We will see you next week, and maybe Ryan will be back. I don't know. We'll see.
We don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, the Dodgers Zone, on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.